is this a legacy-defining game for Donovan? Is that because you think it is a legacy-defining game?
No, it's because it's the chatter right now. I hear a lot of people suggesting it's a legacy-defining game, and the thing I find interesting is, it seems like every other game is a legacy-defining game for Donovan. It feels like, how many times this postseason can we say it's a legacy-defining game for Donovan? Well, I guess if you think that the series revolves around what happens tonight, maybe this would classify as well.
Do you think Game 4 was a legacy-defining game?
I think Game 4, if they make it past this series, I think Game 4 is the game people are going to talk about until, I don't know, 5 years from now. You'll be like, remember that 39-point second half? And you'll talk
the 43 burger.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to talk about. Because you'll be like, oh, wow, 39-point second half. He must have been dominant start to finish with. What did he finish with? 43 burger.
Yeah,
great.
It was a good tasting burger.
So he did. You
just
nothing.
don't eat the first half.
He did nothing in the first half. Yeah, no, he sleepwalked in the first half.
The first half of the burger.
He was a zombie in the first half.
It was basically horse meat. But the second half, oh my God, it was not horse meat.
It was a clinic. Yeah. And so I know. So in some respect, it has to be a legacy-defining game. But how many times can we say something is a legacy-defining game?
So I think where we are in the playoffs, and again, it actually flows perfectly within what our conversation was about tonight, which is, will the series be decided by who wins tonight? I think it makes sense that everyone should feel that way, whether you're a Cavs fan, Pistons fan, or whatever. Because if the Cavs finally prove that they can win on the road, there's no reason to believe that they're going to lose Game 6. Because now the Pistons have to prove that they can, so and vice versa. If the Cavs lose this game, there's no reason, even if they win Game 6, to believe they're going to win Game 7 on the road. But when it comes to this, we're still in the legacy is much more at stake for Donovan than it is to be captured. Like, This can't be a legacy-defining game.
It sounded like an AI term right there. Have you spent too much time doing ChatGPT lately?
Well, we've got a nice, healthy relationship.
Is that what that is?
Although I actually asked ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
It's a different chat. Old ChatGPT.
It's actually the Jason Pierre-Paul version.
It's true.
It's offshoot.
Now, great.
But I get what you're going to say.
Elite. Yeah. But it is compromised by only having 6 fingers. But no, I think we're at the spot where in this series, Donovan can more hurt his legacy by having a bad Game 5 than everyone's going to be like, that Game 5.
You're going to forget Game 4 if he stinks it up in Game 5.
Yes.
Game 4 will be an afterthought.
Now, if he comes out tonight
but if he's awesome,
and
then
drops
it'll
another
be
40 burger.
Yes, then it'll be, you'll talk about Game 4 again for the next 5 years, and you'll also turn around and be like, that's part of what turned Donovan and flip the switch is what happened in Game 4.
But he still has to win the series.
For sure.
I think, and not just that, but I do think the Cavs still have to acquit themselves well in the Eastern Conference Finals. Even if they don't win that series, if you get through this and then it's just, no, you were so overwhelmingly more talented than everyone else, that's just kind of what got you through, and then you lose quickly to the Knicks, that would be another thing that I kind of think impacts this. I just think there's only so much Donovan can prove in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, whereas 143 burger game against the Knicks, even in a series loss, is something that people will remember and glom on to.
I just think it matters more for Donovan because he's at the spot. You couldn't have asked for a better spot for him, all things considered, outside of just being done with the series and being on to the next round. The idea that you got 3 games and you played great in Game 4. You seem like you got your shot back. You seem like everything's healthy. Everything's going well for yourself, and you've never made it out of the second round. He's asked to play in big type of games where the whole entire NBA world's watching. Guess what? You're the show. You're the show tonight.
And before that game, we had multiple guests say, where's Donovan Mitchell been?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's the first time, really, as a Cavalier, we've had those conversations because he's been so good previously, and it has looked like Don and the Donettes. I think there's another part of this where it's like, hey, that 43 burger was great. Tasted delicious the second half. But all right, now you got to do it again just to keep kind of reminding people that this is who you are. Mm-hmm. It's so funny about when we talk about Donovan's legacy. There is a level that he has secured in terms of how people are going to think about him. But it's still relatively fungible, right?
For sure.
And when I say that, I mean, if he wins, if he goes through this and he wins, and then he goes and they beat the Knicks, and they're in the NBA Finals, it is an incredible glow-up. If they lose tonight and they don't get out of this round, it's not that it takes a hit. It's just it remains stagnant in a way that at 30, it's really tough to try and change that narrative unless you strike lightning in a bottle at a different time.
Well, again, this is like an opportunity here where he can beat some of the charges that are against him. And this also goes for Harden in the same respects, too. Once you get to game 5, 6, 7, like this is the crunch time. This is when everyone that suggests that you flame out in important games or you just disappear in important games, these are the type of games where if you have another good showing and you look and between you and Donovan come out and lead this game, like all of a sudden you're rewriting some of your history. Not all of it, but you're rewriting some of it.
I am as much in on this series as you can be because you can't sleep on it. Like this is, I got the butterflies about tonight. I need a Cavs win. I want a Cavs win. We got to take care of this series first. But there is a part of me that, again, it's not that I think people are bored by the Cavs. I think they're where you and I are, where we're living and dying with every one of these games. But in terms of like the status of the Cavs, where there's the big, LeBron, Giannis potentially this offseason. Does Harden come back? Does Donovan come back? And Mobley and all these kind of things. And that's all kind of hanging in the balance. And then we're still just waiting to get through round 2. And so I think, and again, like it's not a criticism of the Cavs. It's just a criticism of what you've done for 4 years. And that somehow being in the second round of the playoffs, even though I think I'm reasonably confident that they're going to win this series, it does feel stagnant. And I kind of feel the same way about Donovan. Like when he's going off, you're like, special, loving every second of this.
Yeah.
But it's almost like we're almost a little impatient. Like, all right, can we get through this? Because I'd like to go to that next thing so we can.
What part are we not tapping into with people? After game 2, it felt like the whole entire world wanted to call into the station and have Cavs discussions and have Cavs arguments. And it was like, when the team was melting down, people were ready for that. And then it felt like after game 4, when things are headed in the right direction, it felt like yesterday was a little lackluster, all things considered. And right now, so far throughout the first 40 minutes, 30 minutes of this show, it feels a little lackluster.
So I think some of it's I don't know that we respect our opponents. I damn sure know we didn't respect Toronto. And by the way, again, I still don't. That was not a 7-game series. And I think Cavs fans are really smart to know that shouldn't have been a 7-game series either. Even in this series, like you watch those first 2 games, and I think the fury came from you should have won one or both of those games. And I think I do think like we all see the Pistons in a similar light. Cade Cunningham is a really nice basketball player, but this team has massive limitations, and they need another superstar to go with him to be a true threat in the Eastern Conference beyond just you won a bunch of regular season games. And so I think when they lose, it goes, how could you lose to that team? Because it feels like the Pacers all over again, or it feels like the Knicks all over again, or it feels like the Orlando series, even though you won that, or I know the Celtics were the eventual NBA champions, but it's how you lost to the Celtics, right? So, like, I think that's where it's coming from. I think it's like I'm
trying to figure it out. I don't know if it's just there's just no juice with winning with this team, or there's going to be some sense of like if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, then everyone's going to get on board, and then all of a sudden it'll have the juice that we're discussing. Like, is there like there's a prove it mode maybe that this Cavs team has that they haven't cleared yet? Until they do, people will just look at them like, all right, make us a bicycle clown.
I think for all the haggling and all the fighting and all the thing, I think all of us, whether you were the most Cavs vibes in February after the Harden trade or the I'll believe it when I see it, I think we're all on the same page and we were just haggling over the details. I do. I think we're all in prove it mode with the Cavaliers, and as insane as it sounds, okay, yeah, you beat the Pistons in Game 5. It's going to be enjoyable. We're going to have fun. But in the end, the question, as a Cavs fan, you immediately go to, all right, but you're going to finish off the series.
Well, so I wonder if that starts to change. If they finish off the series and then you're stamped into the Eastern Conference Finals, and I hate getting ahead of myself here, but is that the spot then where Cavs fans will be like, all right, let's lock in? Or is it just going to turn around and be like, oh, no, you're massive underdogs to the Knicks now. What are we doing?
I think the lock-in series is going to be the Knicks.
Okay.
Because at least with the Knicks.
Because this has not been a lock-in series.
Because the Knicks, you call back to the first postseason exit. You call back to the fact they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year and you weren't. Like, I think there's a lot of things.
There's something about this series. Like, you and I are locked in for every possession. We're living and dying with this stuff. But I'm not getting that registered from a lot of the fan base right now.
I think fans are locked in. I don't think that it's not an excitement thing. It's just I don't know. I think we're all in agreement. It's like, no, Cavs got to lock in. Like, okay, prove it.
Or is it the idea that maybe nobody wants to speak on it because they've just made everyone look like an idiot at every turn?
They don't want to be a mush.
Well, you don't want to be a mush.
You don't want to be Lima.
The people that have been very pro this Cavs team has looked like idiots at times, and the people that have been very anti this Cavs team have looked like idiots at times. Like it's like there's no one really looking like they're clairvoyant in this Cavs discussion, and maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe people don't want to end up looking like they're stupid or wrong about it. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Those people have not stopped tweeting me after the Cavs wins the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So there are people who want to see me eat bleep on this team.
Is that right?
As if I won't enjoy eating that bleep if the Cavs are in the Eastern Conference Finals.
We got like the energy of a dead guy off this game tonight, though, and it's one of those deals. It's like, all right, it's fine. We'll keep talking about it, but it's interesting to me how this has gone down. It's game 5. It's a massive game.